Hi, welcome back to depression-youarenot-alone.com. To my middle is Lily, and to my far right is Lou, and behind the cameras, as always, is John, who doesn't speak.
I'm not behind the camera.
Or say hello. All right, so Lou, go ahead. Tell me what you want to talk about today.
There's a lot of pressure here. What are you, a director?
I think we're talking about the Bee Gees, as we promised you.
We had mentioned we
2 weeks ago.
would talk about the Bee Gees, and the reason we do it is not because music. We've talked so many times about the importance of music, especially anybody battling a mental illness. If music is your thing, how it's so useful and helpful. And we also want to talk about music because of appreciation we have for those artists that have given us that music. Music that sometimes we've listened to since we were kids even. I'm 58 years old. There are songs I know I've listened to since I was a kid, and they were before my time. But we want to show our appreciation. In the case of the Bee Gees, for example, we don't want to just sit here and talk about their music. Obviously, a lot of sites you can look into that, and it's there. It's we already know, right? How many? Actually, if you actually research all the hits they have, you would be so shocked as to how much they've done. You know?
I mean, we've all heard the music, right? But there's a lot.
But
that's behind it.
Another reason I wanted to talk about the music too is I think it's very helpful with mental illness too to be appreciative of things. Appreciate things, not just look at things on a surface, but appreciate what you have. And that's the beautiful thing about music is it becomes ours. That's my song. Those are my songs. That's my music. It's mine.
It's my jam.
Because it was given to you. And I think we should be appreciative. Now, the Bee Gees, for example.
Yeah.
What's Lily doing?
Don't worry about Lily.
She likes Who Let the Dogs Out. That's her favorite song.
Yeah.
Whose song? Lily's?
Yeah. Who Let the Dogs Out. The Bee Gees, it's 4 brothers, born in England. They were born in England. They then moved to Australia. Poor growing up, but they wanted to be famous at a very young age. I think when they started, Barry, the oldest, was 11, and Morris and Robin were 8.
Something like that.
So you want to talk about longevity in a career?
And boy, were they ugly little kids.
Okay, but you know what?
That's
talented.
Oh, yeah.
Talent. And if someone's watching this saying, I don't like them. Okay, you don't have to like them.
You don't have to like them.
But you know what? There are artists, for me, that, not a fan, but I can say, talented.
Absolutely.
Very talented, even though it's not for me, but I can tell this person is just super talented. So here you have 4 brothers with all their success, all they've done, all they've given us. Also tragic story, and that's kind of what we want to talk about because it relates to other things too, alcoholism, drugs,
the whole thing,
which is all part of it, right?
Yeah.
You have Andy, the youngest, Andy Gibb. Sure, everybody knows about Andy Gibb. Maybe the younger people don't, right? Maybe the younger people might know the Bee Gees.
Remember,
maybe
we're
not so
old.
much
I'll tell you
Andy.
one thing, all the women from that generation all knew him.
From the generation, of course.
What you just said, though, but we're old. I'll say this to the young people. I know songs that were before my time.
That's you, though.
Okay? Before my time. So, age, that's the beauty about music. Age should have nothing to do with music.
You are right there.
Nothing.
But
If you like something, you like it. And that's how I've always viewed music. And I think you have as well. Not so much you, because you're about, it has to have a beat or this or that,
I'm a little
right?
different.
I think you're a little deeper than she is about music.
Totally, 100%.
But you look at Andy, the younger brother. There were the Bee Gees, the 3 brothers, right? Group. They started very young, I think at 8. As I said, Barry, the twins, Morris and Robin at 8, and Barry at 11. 11. They got their career going. They wanted to be famous. They wanted to be successful. They wrote their own music. And then Andy came along later. They were already on their way, right, when Andy came along, and he started his solo career with the help of his brother Barry,
Yeah.
who wrote a lot of his songs, actually sang background on a lot of his songs.
Yeah.
And what happened to this young man? Cocaine, alcohol.
The quick fame
Took him down.
got the best of him.
Yeah, it sure
And,
did.
and he also,
As many of them.
and I've seen documentaries on this too, where he also was insecure about himself, that he wasn't sure that his success was his. You know, that it wasn't because his brothers were the Bee Gees, were, you know,
Right.
so he didn't feel.
It was
I guess
specific
if
to
his
him.
brothers didn't
Yeah.
exist, right,
Yeah.
it would be his
Right.
and his alone. I'm not going to speak for him. I just think I just think very tragic. I actually like a lot of Andy.
I love
Andy
him.
Gibb songs.
I do.
And a lot of people might look at me and go, "Yeah, but you're not a young girl." They're like, "Doesn't matter."
No, that's your that was what we grew up with.
Right, but with me, when it was popular, it was mostly young girls. But there are certain
Whatever.
songs that I
Well, the
like.
young girls back then liked him for his looks. So
But there are certain songs that if you like them, you like them.
Well,
you don't
Andy
have to
was easy on the eye.
categorize things. Put people in categories, right? I'm not supposed to like this because it's mostly this or that like it. You like it, you like it. That's what music does. Here's this young man battling cocaine, and then towards the end of his life, alcohol. He died at 30.
That young, huh?
30.
Wow.
Think about that, folks. You know, and someone might say, why are you talking about this? What does this have to do with mental health? A lot of it has to do with mental health and addiction. Because it's an illness. Addiction is also an illness. Right? And as I said earlier, appreciation for those that have provided us these things that we have the rest of our lives, the music. They've given it to us. We appreciate them. Admire them for that. Young man dies at 30.
I didn't realize he was that young.
He died. Andy actually died from an inflammatory heart virus, but that was from the years of drug and alcohol use.
Yeah, that would do it.
That,
lost his immune system.
and to me, it's still very sad. He died in
Of course it's sad.
1988, I believe. To me, it's still sad because I can still listen to his music. I still see this nice young man, talented. Just a waste.
He was
man.
no longer here.
Just a waste. Now you have the Bee Gees, the actual group,
Barry and the Twins.
with Barry and the twins, Robin and Morris. You want to talk about talent. You know, I remember when they were inducted into the Hall of Fame. When they were inducted in the Hall of Fame, my first thought was, well, finally?
Yeah, they should have been.
Finally?
Yeah,
Because
about
let's
time.
break down the people that are in the Hall of Fame that have been there for years that have nowhere near the accomplishments.
Oh, there's tons of them.
Nowhere near the accomplishments that these gentlemen have had. Especially Barry, the older one. Now, going back to Andy, let me run off some of his songs. I Just Want to Be Your Everything, Love is Thicker Than Water, Shadow Dancing, Everlasting Love, Don't Throw It All Away, Don't Throw It All Away.
Those
These
are all
hits.
hits.
They were all huge
All
hits.
hits.
They were all hits.
But I used to listen.
And you know, towards the end, I also saw a documentary where Barry actually had to sing more in the background to cover for Andy because he was
was declining.
losing his voice at 30
Yeah.
from drugs. Maurice was the Morris, I'm sorry. Morris was the more quiet one, the background singer.
Background singer, yeah.
This gentleman died at 53.
Cardiac arrest.
53 years old. Okay. Robin, who was the other lead singer, and Robin and Barry, actually when they were young, would clash because they were both lead singers.
Yeah.
Right? So what happens
And
when
they
you're
were
young?
closer to age.
And brothers, right? But what
Yeah.
happens when you're young? Wait a minute, I want to be out there.
Of course.
Yeah.
I want to
It's
be out
natural.
there. You know, you're getting too much attention. I want more attention. And I also saw a documentary later on where Robin had said to Barry when Barry was singing a high pitch, and that started where they said in the song they said we need a scream here, and Barry
did the treble?
did the
Yeah.
high pitch, and oh hey, that works.
Yeah, yeah.
And Robin actually told Barry we need to do more of that because people like it.
Yeah, they did.
They
It's
liked that
great.
high-
It worked.
Made them
It
Bee
worked.
Gees.
Now we all know during disco era, right? The disco era, Barry's High Pitch, the song the movie Saturday Night Fever
Right.
was supposed to be Saturday Night, and they actually changed the title to Saturday Night Fever. They already had these songs written before that movie came out. A lot of the songs were already written. These gentlemen would write songs like that in an afternoon or an evening.
Yeah, or an hour.
Write a song.
Just come up with
How many
songs.
artists can do that? How many artists have been able to do that? So many have written a song, it's a hit, and then you're wondering, okay, what do you got next? Nothing. One-hit wonders. They got
Yeah, a
nothing.
lot of those out
Yeah.
there. That's for sure.
They lucked out, and listen, I'm not criticizing that either. There are a lot of one-hit wonder songs that I love. Not
Well, we just
criticizing
played one
it.
earlier.
And they're mine now. They're mine, right? And they're
Yeah.
yours, and they're yours, right?
Can't take them away.
So Robin, Morris died of cardiac arrest. He had twisted intestine complications. 53.
Oh, it's too young.
Robin had a great voice, which I think he doesn't get enough credit, because a lot of people, when they hear the Bee Gees, they think, oh, that's Barry singing it, if they even think that.
Well,
right?
if you listen to I Started a Joke, that's Robin.
That's Robin. That's Robin.
started
And if you listen to it, for those that are music lovers, I probably don't have to tell you this, because you'll say, yeah, I already do that. Headphones. Put headphones on.
Yeah, you hear all the
To
instruments. you're
listen
saying.
all that background music, all those sounds.
You tell me that all the time.
I tell you that all the time.
If you got a good quality
You
set of
lose
headphones,
so
yeah.
much, right? You lose so much listening on a television or on your iPad or on your phone. If you had, newer
But you-
songs don't have so much in the background.
You used to, when I was watching TV at the old house, I wanted to watch TV, he wanted to listen to music, so he put on his headphones. They were nice headphones, so he could hear all that in the background.
Because I wanted
Because you
all that
miss it when
subtle,
you're hearing it in the actual song.
background
Yeah, for sure.
music. And I
Yeah.
think it makes you appreciate it even more how much they put into
All the
this
instruments
song.
and all the
How much is
intertwining
put into this
of the
that
music.
we lose just listening to it on the radio in a car or
Of
something like that.
course,
We
it's a
lose
radio.
that.
Disco alone.
Disco had a
Stuff
lot of
is-
music in it.
Yeah, a
Disco
lot of
was freaking awesome.
Music in it. I mean, today you
Not
have
a lot of people's cup of
today you
tea.
have 3 people in a band. It's a keyboard where they can program all the songs, and 2 guitar players. I mean,
Yeah.
that's it.
And the drums
That's all
are
you
the
need.
drums are already recorded.
It's in they program it's already
all
recorded.
programmed.
And then when you hear them live, you're like,
They suck.
oh my God, that was awful. Barry, the oldest brother who's still alive, is 76 years old. Now, I look at what they've accomplished, man, is just beyond belief, whether you're a fan of the Bee Gees or you're not. I believe also for our mental well-being, whether you have mental illness or you do not, I believe appreciating quality, appreciating talent. To me, it makes me feel good when I think about, wow, what talented people. It makes me feel good for feeling good about what they've accomplished.
Good. That's good.
But I think we should all do that.
Well, not a lot of
right?
people
I
are
think-
like you, but yes, I understand where you're coming from.
Well, it's not about me. I'm just suggesting that if we take more time to appreciate what people have done, their talent, their abilities, not be envious of them, but be grateful. Mm-hmm. Grateful that they gave us that.
Yeah.
That it's ours now to enjoy for the rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Their creative abilities. We should be grateful for that, because gratitude is a healthy thing. Because we can also be pissed off or jealous or this. None of that is healthy. That's all poison.
Yeah.
But having gratitude for something is healthy. It's good.
It is.
It's a good thing to do. And then have that gratitude grow into other things. Now you look at, for example, the Bee Gees are the only group in history to write, produce, and record 6 #1 hits in history. And they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, I hope so.
So do the drown.
You look at Barbra Streisand, one of the most successful artists, American artists,
American female artist.
American female artists, without a doubt, well deserved. an incredible talent. I liked her as an actress too.
Oh, she's great as an actress.
But as a singer, the voice.
You love Barbara. I
For
know.
anyone that is like,
You
oh,
do.
yeah, go play some of her songs when she was in her prime and listen to that voice.
Yeah.
And then run off a list of people that can sing like that. That list is going to be very small.
Yeah, she was talented.
Very small.
No doubt she was talented.
Oh, she can belt them out.
What's one of her
Good.
most successful, if not the most successful album of hers? The Guilty album.
With
Written, produced by Barry Gibb.
the Bee Gees.
You look at, what was another huge movie? Grease. Remember Grease?
Grease.
Not a big fan, I'll admit. I'm not a big fan. But the song
Gees.
Grease is the Word, Frankie Valli. Not a fan of that song either. That was written by Barry Gibb.
I don't even know if I know that song. But
That was written by Barry Gibb. Sang by Frankie Valli, of course, but written by Barry Gibb.
oh, I didn't know
It's
it
just
was sang by-
amazing.
I didn't know it was sang
There's
by-
been a
It
ton
just
of hits for other people
hundreds.
that the Bee Gees wrote.
But most
You-
people
you-
don't know about that.
You look at Islands in the Stream.
With
Islands in the Stream with
DP.
Kenny Rogers
and DP,
Yeah.
and Dolly Parton.
Mongo
Yes.
Bongo.
One of their biggest hits, written by Barry Gibb.
Yeah.
It's just they wrote hundreds and hundreds of songs.
Well, haven't they written over 1,000 songs?
and
somewhere around
think
there.
about when they started as kids singing music. They sounded like the Beatles and those groups back then when they were young, right? Because they were in England. They were an English group, and they had those groups as an influence to them.
Thank goodness. they
And
changed
then
their-
look at when disco came. They were like the disco kings.
Yeah.
In that era,
the fame.
all of a sudden it's like the Bee Gees. They're not-
yeah,
they're
it was,
top
it was
in this.
magnificent. It was.
After that, there was that disco sucks movement. Remember?
Right, yeah.
Disco sucks, and a lot
Shame
of
on
people
them
out there,
for ruining
a lot of people who love disco then hated it because they were supposed to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe if you like something, you like it, and people shouldn't influence you to not like something
And
you
people
liked.
shouldn't influence you to
It's
exactly.
absolutely ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
And then after that, when that kind of faded out, people liked it again. But they could not. They started writing songs for other people and were successful doing that. It was like success after success after success for themselves and writing for others.
Yeah.
I mean, should we not appreciate that talent? Should we not acknowledge it?
Or maybe if you don't, maybe you should start. Well, or
And if
whatever. I mean,
because it can carry on to other things as well.
oh, it
in my-
could.
in
You're
my
right. It's a
opinion.
stepping stone. Absolutely right.
Appreciating talent, appreciating ability, appreciating that you have something someone else created and you have it. You've had it for years and listened to it and loved it. Well, thank you for doing that for us.
Yeah.
For giving us that.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. But, and Morris, for example, Morris battled alcoholism.
Yeah, big time.
So there are a few members in the family that had alcohol.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
we can say, the fame, the lifestyle at the time, of course. But later on in life, it was still a battle. Mm-hmm. So, we're just not just talking about music, we're talking about that too. And really, it cost them, right?
Well, big time.
Oh, yeah.
It cost them.
That's what fame can do, though, too.
I think of these things. I think of Barry, who's still with us, and losing 3 brothers.
Yeah.
And brothers that they were so close.
Yeah.
They accomplished so much together.
And all younger
difficult to
brothers.
follow.
Yes, all younger brothers. And here's the oldest of the 4,
Staying alive.
still alive, and they're all gone.
Yeah.
And he had to also be there with his parents losing their children.
That's rough.
We can think about these things, but of course most people do not. I do. I think about these things, and I think of what they accomplished, but also the human side of the Bee Gees. Because that story, you can't make the story up.
No.
Think about it. You can't make this story up.
No.
Why would you want to anyway? Yeah,
It's
exactly.
unbelievable.
No.
Their success, what they accomplished.
Quick, and it was, yeah, absolutely. But it was.
I mean, what did they have? They had number one hits, what was it? 60s, 70s, 80s,
Back to
90s,
back,
and
back to
2000s.
back,
I mean, it was
back
like
to
back.
ridiculous.
Yeah, every decade they had.
Every
They had
decade,
number one
yeah.
hits where their number one hit was replaced by another one of their number one hits,
Which is
was
incredible.
replaced by another one of their hits that they either wrote or
Well,
either
like
they sang it or wrote it.
5 or
for Samantha
6.
sang for Andy.
Oh, yeah.
And theirs, the number one hit was replaced by one of their number one hits. I mean, this is how many groups can say that in the history of music?
Not a lot.
In the history of music.
I mean, there are some out there, but not like that.
So
Not as prolific.
No,
not as prolific.
No, not at all.
And writing for others where,
Yeah,
you know
for
what, it's
sure.
not even about our sound. I can write for you and then boom, that's a hit.
Yeah.
With you singing it, now it's a
Yeah.
hit.
Well, just like the Dolly Parton and.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's just unbelievable. I think it's always worthy
I
of
always
mention.
liked that song anyway.
I always
Islands in the
think-
Stream.
Which one?
Islands in the Stream. That's what that was.
I
it,
never
right?
cared for it.
I think, I'm not a fan either, but
Well, I
but-
know, I
but
was a fan of
it. was
it.
a huge hit. It
Yeah,
was
it was.
written by Barry Gibb.
Huge.
Which you would never think Barry Gibb wrote it, right? It's
Yeah, 'cause
the genre is different
a lot of people associate the Bee Gees with disco.
with disco, right? Well, younger, well,
Not the
even
stuff
not even young
before
people.
or the stuff after.
And so many of their songs have been redone by others.
Yeah.
And I always think it's worthy. I mean, I think we should show gratitude, show appreciation, admiration for talent. And
I'm with you on
with
that.
music, when we have songs that we can just play and enjoy them, they can be 10 years old. They could be new releases.
Or 50
They could be
years old.
50 years old. But we always have them the rest of our lives. They've brought us pleasure, memories we associate them with. They could be good or bad, sad or happy. But it's because of these artists, these creators
Yeah,
that have done these
this
things.
happened for
It
us.
wouldn't happen if it wasn't for them.
Of course not.
So you know what? To the Bee Gees,
Appreciate
to the
it.
brothers, wish they were all still here.
Oh, I do too.
But we say thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for the gift you've given us, for those that appreciate music. With respect and admiration, we say thank you. And we will discuss other artists and other songs and through over time, because I believe music is very
It's
important when it comes to mental health, when someone's struggling, and it's there for us.
It can help get you out of a situation. If you're not getting out of the house, it can help lift your spirits up. It's worth it.
It's there.
It's there.
It's free. It'll always
It's
be
free.
there. It's ours, and no one's going to take it away from us.
That's right.
And again, thank you to the Bee Gees
Yeah, they were.
for
Fantastic.
giving us that.
Yes.
And we are extremely grateful, and we will be the rest of our lives
Absolutely.
because of their talent and their ability. So from us here, we want to say to everyone, I recommend this. If you know some Bee Gees songs, go back and listen to the whole catalog of all of their songs, and go find out the songs they wrote, produced for others, and you will get more of an appreciation of that talent.
Absolutely.
And then you'll see that, yeah, you know what? They do deserve a big thank you for what they've done. Well, folks, we want you to all be well.
Take care. Thank you.
Don't give up on music. It's there. Always cherish
It can be
it.
very healing.
Cherish it. Very healing.
Very healing.
Absolutely. Take care, everyone. We'll talk to you again soon, and be well.
Bye.